All right, hi everyone. Today's stream slash videos are going to be about how we can enable users to have a limit on number of files they want to see from Context Pilot. So as a quick demo, right, if I do this Context Pilot context, right, and you see that it lists all the 5 files that are in the folder because all of them had relevant commits, and it's basically just listing all of the files because config.rs is essentially used by all the files, or cargo.toml maybe was edited at some point of time as well, right? So what I want to do is I want to make sure that uh, first of all, it should show some confidence that, okay, I'm confident that src elgo loc.rs is like the most relevant file for the current file. But I also want to show some confidence to it. Okay, but that's the second feature I want to work on. The very first feature is making sure that we can limit the number of files that people want using the config, and this config should essentially be available. Like I want probably what, so that's another thing that we want to see. Okay, what kind of config do you want to expose to them, right? Like how should they use it? So anyway, so let's go and have a constant here, const file count threshold. Yeah, I'll just keep it that. U size, yeah, sure, so it's going to be positive. U size equal to, let's start with 5, right? That's the default. I would in fact go ahead and say this, that output count threshold. So it will be the same for both request types, which is file and author. Okay, default for the output to show. Yeah, so this is what I'm hoping that we can do. Return count again is the same thing, right? So that's the output count threshold. Also, we would want in the future, this is to do implement threshold for confidence for relevance. Okay, so you don't want, let's say if a file is barely relevant, you don't want to show it no matter how much the threshold is, right? So that's a to do that we'll pick up later on. Cool, let's start. I'll just make sure that first of all, let's go to main.rs. Over here, get contextual authors, right? All of this is there. I think let's just pick up right now. I'm thinking because see, the way it's going to happen is that a user, let's say they're using VS Code or they're using something else, right? So they'll just have to make sure. Guys, did someone just follow me on Twitch? Did I not notice? Oh, no one did. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, so the goal is to make sure that we understand how it's going to be used from VS Code, right, or NeoVim. So they always going to have some config file in the, let's say VS Code has this config, right? So what we want to do is we want to make sure that they can use it, right? And this we'll be able to parse it, and we'll pass the default, right? So if it's not available, so something like this, that let's say, I don't know, for now let's say that is coming from args. For now let's assume that's coming from, I don't want to assume, to be honest. I think I really want this to be coming from a config. Let's say this thing is well pub const config file, right? And I want it to be config.json config file name. Yeah, sure. Star equal to, I would like it to be, the config name to be probably context pilot dot what should be the type? That's the question, right? I don't mind just using a JSON file. I think for now this is fine, but I think I would prefer Lua as we go ahead. Okay, sorry. Cool, this is done, right? So what we want to do now, we want to read this config file. We want to have this as an argument there. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's see what we can do. Maybe over here, but I'm doing this here just before this. Read the file, read the config file and pass defaults, right? So that's what you want to do. So let's say I'll just say parse read config, yeah, not from args. I don't think I want to pass any args. I will just say not really. Let's say read config. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass the, so I have the config already, and I can say config file name. Yeah, and I don't need anything else. No, I don't need a, okay, this is done. I would say let's have this as let config object, right? And I want this to be a config object, let's say config, right? So I'll have to create another object for this, and read config will also go there. So let's create a file, read config. Okay, let's create a struct first. Okay, let's just create this file. What should I call it? Config impl.rs maybe. Just wanted to have this struct read config. Okay, and it should have a config file name. No, I don't want it. I mean, I don't think it needs anything impl. Just I'll do pub, sorry, read config, and it should take a config file name. It's a let's say, and let's just say, yeah, I'll do this. I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't mind. This is fine. From reader, does that work though? Let's just say, and just to make sure that I'm able to catch errors, let's, okay, wait a minute. Yeah, let's go to main.rs and let's have mode read, maybe config impl. Yeah, this is done. And sorry. Yeah, I would like this to be quickly fixed as well. I don't think we need a struct here. We can just have a function for now, and then let's see what do we need, right? So this is, I can quickly fix. Yeah, that's, I mean, those are the things for later. We'll also need a struct, to be honest, here. So we'll need a struct. And no, I don't need config and all. So what I need is this config, like whatever the files, like whatever threshold, right? So file count threshold is one thing that I intend to store. Yeah, there you go. Do you need, sorry. Yeah, that's okay. Is inaccessible. Okay, this is done. Yeah, I should store use Surday JSON. Sorry, still getting used to the new keyboard. From reader, right? I don't know what does it do, to be honest. Let's see. What does it do? Oh, there is already from reader. This condition can fail. Okay. Read user from reader, deserializer from reader, top stream. I see. So you have a TCP stream, not top stream. Sorry. So you have a TCP stream incoming. You say from reader and you say deserializer. You have CRD deserialize here, and then you do user deserialize. I see what you're doing. Okay, let's quickly just implement this based on documentation. All right, so over here, what we can do is we can go and have the struct derive the attributes that we need. Okay, please don't deserialize. I would also not mind them having serialized, to be honest, if it's at all possible. And I will also want default, and debug is fine. Yeah, and I should do use Surday JSON deserialize. So okay, and use Surday deserialize. Cool. Let's just get rid of these for now, and this is done, and this is config, right? So what is it returning? It's returning a config object, right? That's it. So we are done so far. Going well. Now let's just see how can we. Okay, I just need to get rid of this. Okay, this is done, right? So I no, from here what I need to, this is not going to give me a config, right? It's going to give me a let mute config stream right? And I should do deserializer. Okay. And from here, okay, what do I need? I need let config equal to, I should just do config deserialize. Yeah. And I can do mute config stream. Cool. This is done. What is it? Oh, it's error type, right? Can I just do expected config to be deserialized? Probably the format is wrong. Yeah. I think we can do that. That's it. So good stuff so far. I would honestly just panic later on. Fix the error handling and ensure users are able to watch logs for this. All right, good stuff so far. So we have read config implemented. We have file count threshold. Cool. Let's just make sure that we are using it now. Let's go to main.rs and let's read config. I don't need the struct anymore. I can just say read config, I guess. Okay. Okay, can I go back? I don't want to do this. I just want to do use config impl, right? And right, what I want to do is read config wherever I'm doing this, right? I want to do, what was it? Config impl, right? Same with here. I just want people to know that where is it actually stored? Okay, now config object is there with us, right? Now what I can just do is I can pass this here, mute config object. I don't need mute here, config object. Okay, and over here as well. Okay, that's it, and ta-da, this is done. So now let's go to get contextual authors. Let's have config object and let's say mute config, and what I'm looking for is use create config. Yeah, okay, perfect. I would honestly keep it as I said, config impl this thing. I can go back and do this use create config impl, right? Ta-da, this is done. Now what I want to do is I just want to list those files, right? But let's first probably fix the usage. So over here as well, let's just fix, by the way, what's going wrong here? Sorry guys, I need to zoom out a bit. No, wait a minute. Oh, this is config object. Cool. Yeah. All right, this is done, right? And what's the error here? Found expected mute. Why did, oh, my bad. Okay, can you go back? I don't think I need. Yeah, this is done. It's done. Okay, let's go to get unique files changed as well. And let's say you also want to take config object. Let's just do this. Cool. All right, guys. So we have resolved the problem here. Now this FYI, we need one more thing over here. We need to use some default, right? So I'll have to implement. Let's just see how to do that, right? Implement default for config. Impl default for config is the way to go here. Yeah, and I want function default. Can you please autocomplete config? Yes, good. File count threshold should be what? I want it to be file. There's a config file. No, I forgot what's. Can I just import use create config? Okay, I'll probably rename it to something like config. I want output count threshold. Yeah, this is done. So this is what we want as default, right? First implementation here. Yeah, and let's just remove default from there, right? Because we'll be using, yeah, this is done. Cool. This is done, guys. So we have implemented default. And let's just go here. Cool. I like it. I like it. I love it, in fact. So now what I want to do is I just want to make sure that config object is red. But how will you, okay, so what's the best way to say that, okay, I just want, do you first of all, do you want to calculate all the files and then filter the top n, right? That's the first question I have. I think it's going to be tricky. And the reason I'm saying this is, okay, I'm going to think about it. If each file visited count map, visited count, unvisited index is empty, perform for single line, split output, let mute final results, split output and create map. Am I creating a map here? Yeah, visited count, right? I'm doing this already. This is the final result. And how many times am I going through it, by the way? I am definitely having a threshold somewhere. I forgot. What's the commit? Not committed yet file. How long are you going through this? Unvisited indices.data, split output. Where's the author detail? Exist and return. Exist and return. If it's there, existing result, you take it. If it's not there, what do you do? Perform for single line. That's what I want to see. So I think over here, what you're doing is single struct in output, each file in contextual file paths, rest dot keys. So, okay, so extract details. I think this is also fine. There's nothing much here. Yeah, last many commit hashes, right? So that's where I'm probably having this last many commit hashes. So ideally, this should also come from the config. Yeah, I would like this to be coming from config, right? So I'll just say config object here as well and say config. I'll say config impl config, right? You just pass the config object here. And oh, sorry. Yeah, and you can go down and say over here, the way you're doing it, like last many commit hashes, right? This should be config object last many array, last many commit hashes threshold. Yeah, you want to have this. Let's just copy this and open config impl.rs. My bad, sorry. Yeah, array. I'm in the, okay, this is bad. Because, okay, I know what's happening. Cool, no issues. For now, let's go this way. Over here, we'll have, okay, pub, last many commit hashes, no commit hashes, threshold. It should be usize as well. And I'll have it here, commit hashes, threshold is config, last many commit hashes. Yeah. And let's just go and change it to usize. Usize, okay. So this all is done. Config object. And I'll say use create config impl. Okay. So this is done and this is not needed anymore. Cool. It's done. Let's go to config impl. Where are we using it here, right? I think this, yeah, because it's a, wait a minute, what are you? I'm passing config object here, right? Undeclared module. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry, my bad. Dot file commit. And let's do Brame count as usize as well. Yeah. Is there any problem? Function defined here. Yeah, I just need to fix the usage part of it now. Cool. Let's go to extract details, right? Let's say probably, yeah, here, right? Function defined here. Okay, sorry. Where is it used? Yeah, there you go, right? So over here, you want to pass config object. right? And over here you will also have config object, config impl, config impl, config, right? And that's what you want to do. And then next you want to go to this over here, and you can just pass. I just want to say config. Okay, let's just pass it here directly. Config impl. That's it. Sorry, not config. Sorry, my bad. Object. Cool. This is done, guys. We have, I think, one more line to fix over here. Yeah. Yeah. God, I'm using it quite a lot. Cool. We are done, guys. So we have. So now we have enabled it using the. That's a lot of traffic, by the way, in the background. I'm so sorry about it. Cool. So what's next, right? Let's get rid of db. I don't know these useless comments. All right. Now, okay. What were we doing? Extract details, right? Config object work, config impl. That is all done. All right. So we are doing it now. So that means we're only getting commit hashes. Now the only thing is where should you do it? Like blame count. This should do is extract details, right? This is simple. I don't think so. Let's go look at the flow, right? So when in can get contextual authors, for example, for each unvisited index in unvisited indices.iter, for each line, that's basically that, right? For each line that is not visited yet, you perform that operation for single line and split output and create map, which is what you should always do. But I think it's fine. Yeah, let's just get all the files, to be honest. I don't know why I was overthinking about it. But yeah, so why am I, if final results, yeah, this is fine. Let's just say, okay, let's not crop it here actually, because, or maybe let's just do it here. Get contextual authors. I want something like, a common operation for all this. But let's go ahead and do this. Let's say trim. Let's say trim result. Okay, and I'm gonna do this. Okay, and what trim result is gonna do? Let's just have, I don't know, in config impl already. Let's just say pub function trim result, and let's say you are getting, what was it, by the way? Okay, can I go back to algo.loc.rs trim result final result, right? What's the type of final result? It's a string. Okay. I see. Yeah, I want to return a string as well, sir. And I want to have the config passed, which is I'll rather take, let's say, input, and I will honestly take a threshold directly here and use size, right? Something like this. I can just say here that I want to pass config impl dot, sorry, not config impl, config object dot file count threshold. Yeah, that's what I want to do, because just to avoid the linter breaking, and I can do config impl. Ta-da! Okay. All right. So now what we want to do, right? So with this trim result, what you want to do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna say? All right. So what we can do is just make sure that the number of words in the string should not cross threshold. So just trim the string. Okay. So what I want to do is I probably want to iterate. Can I just do input dot, I don't know, trim? There's an option for trim. There's an option for split. Why is it not showing then? Yeah, there you go, right? So I can do split. No, okay. For input, word in input, if input dot length. No, this is wrong. Sorry about that. I just want to have, let's say, final string as a string. And let's just say that for now. And then what I want to do here is that for each input, I is it uh okay, yeah, this is fine. I just want to say if mm, let's keep a count as well. Let's keep a count as well. Count. I can do plus equal to 1, right? And I can just do if count is greater than threshold. Yeah, you just break. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a better way to do this. Oh, and yeah, it should be mute. All right, and over here, what I want to do is I want to make sure that let's have it here itself, and let's also do final string dot push star input word. Is it? Okay. Cool. This is done. I'll just paste it here as well. What does it perform for single line? No, I don't want. I want get contextual. What? Get contextual. Get unique files changed. Yeah, I want to trim it here, right? So I will do config impl trim result final result and config object dot file count threshold. Yeah, cool. I'll just copy this here because honestly I think I also need to do it here. Yeah, same with there. I'll just copy it here. Wait a minute, I'm returning here also. Okay, config impl trim result config object dot file count threshold. Cool. Oh, here it should be what rest string, right? Return. Happy with it? Cool, this is done. Uh, 1 minute, guys. Okay, all right. So this is done. So let's go to the top. I don't know where else we are returning. Let's just make sure that we don't forget this perform for single line. I don't think it's a concern. Get unique files changed. This is fine. Yeah, over here this returning rest string as well. That's one thing I will change. Return, sorry, config impl trim result. Okay. All right, guys, that's it. Cool. We are done. Congratulations. All right. So that's it. We should be able to cross check what have we done. So I think I can get rid of Saturday, JSON serializer and all as well. Struct read config can go away. Just trim the string. I think one thing I would like to do is I just want to make sure that this trim result is performing how we would like it to. Can I just write tests? Yeah, let's just write test for it, right? This is good. Okay, let's see if it passes. Okay, yeah. I would just like this context to run. What happened? Yeah, left is this. Yeah, it didn't work, right? So yeah, this is bad. So out doesn't come with, oh, that's good thing that we wrote a test, because over here what you will have to do is you will have to do this, and then only it will pass. All right, now we're close, but the only problem is that we are getting an extra. I think this should work. Ta-da! Congratulations, everyone. This is good. Let's just say that it's now done. Let's also make sure that we are able to get it. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to get used to it. How do I do this? Function test trim result. Let's just say no, not to. I don't want this. I want say from config. And let's just do this. Let input. Can you create an input for me? Thank you. Kamsamida. Let threshold equal to this. Okay, I don't want. Okay, I don't mind 10. I'll just make sure that I copy this as well. No, this threshold should be coming from. I'll just say config. I have config, right? I already have config. Sorry, I can have config and I can have this. And let's say file count threshold. I'm only going to pass file count threshold, to be honest. I don't want the other value to be passed. I hope that works for it. Yeah. Now that's one thing I need to make sure that it's optional, right? Because, okay, let's just add a to do, make it. Oh, I can pass a default value, is it? Config last many hashes. Do you think will that work? Should have snake case name. That's something I can ignore. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think we have to follow some other method to do have a default value here later on, because I don't think people would like to have both options listed. So ideally they should be able to just say that, okay, I've passed one of them and it should work. All right, and over here out should be equal to trim. Yeah, that's it. Cool. I will say threshold object. No, the right name is config object here. And I'll go here and say this config object dot file count threshold. All right, guys. So that's it. You got config, you got everything here. Ta-da. Let's just make sure that cargo test is working. Yes, I'm confident about it now. This is amazing, guys. Always write tests, and writing tests is actually very easy in Rust. So it should be easier for all of you. Okay. Now give me 1 second, guys. I need to quickly fix a small thing in my setup and I'll be back. Anyways, meanwhile, if anyone wants to, there's no one watching. It's okay. I'll copy the number. All right. Okay, cool. I'm unblocked on this. So let's just see what we can do now. Okay, so this is done. Are there any warnings? Remove the whole use item here. Why should I remove? No, I will not. Unused import. No, this is not important. Okay, cool. Now what's the next thing, right? So we have all these options here. And okay, I think we are good. Let's just try this out now. I'm going to do cargo build release so that we can use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do target release. It will not work because because no such file or directory src config impl. So the reason it's happening, I think, is because it's trying to read the config file, but I haven't really. Yeah, so this config file name is not there, right? And I would actually do dot expected config file to be present. I would like it to have. Can I please? Okay, wait a minute, guys. Okay, let's just say cargo build release now, and let's try to run this thing. Yeah, okay. 23rd line, right? That's the line I'm at right now. Okay, file open will not work. Okay, that's fine. Now, how do you fix it? You have to create a file, but I wanted it to have a default. If in case the file is not present, I want it to not fail. So let's do unwrap. I don't know, unwrap or default, but I don't want to have a default as well. I don't think it's possible. Okay, let's say match config file. Okay, yeah, that's what I want to do. Yeah, yes. And when the error comes, I don't want to say config file using the, okay, this is fine. Yeah, really not bad at all. Let's just have this here and let's paste it here. So when the config file is found and you're able to deserialize from there, that should work. So I can just say unwrap now, right? And there you go, everything is solved. Okay, I can, what they mean is you can get rid of return here. Okay, cool guys, this is done. Let's just say target release. Ta-da! Config file not found using default values. Now just FYI, I would rather prefer it not polluting my println. Okay, but how many files are there? Okay, let's just say that I want 2 files only. So what I'm gonna do is I don't know, let's also add a log, by the way, before I forget to do add a log that you are using defaults. Okay, all right, now what you want to do is essentially go to, okay, I forgot what I'm trying to do. Oh, I'm getting old. Target release. Oh yeah, forgot. Yes, okay. So let's go to config.rs here. Let's change the default to 2, right? And let's just see that if it works. Now this is the, right? No, actually it returns 3. Oh, I know why this is happening. I see. Because it's like, I think initially count should be, when I push the string, I make it 1, right? And then I say if it's greater than equal to threshold. Yeah. So yeah, okay, cool. Now this is done. Ta-da! Okay, awesome. This is amazing, right? So when you pass the, okay, now I'm even more excited because what I want to do is I want to go to config and I want to create my own config file. Oh God, this is amazing. So see, where are you reading the file, right? So you're reading config file name and this should be coming from the config folder. So if you see, we have a default folder, DB folder, right? And this context file DB. I would want this to be a home folder. So I can actually say let config file name with home. Da-da. See? So this is what I want. I want to use config file with home. And instead of having home di like this, I think I am already having home somewhere. Where do I calculate home? Yeah, there you go, right? Where am I? Yeah, there you go. So I can use this. So I can just go here. I can do this simple home dir. So I'm using this module, by the way, and I can do unwrap maybe here. Okay, now what's your problem? Doesn't implement display. I see. Because this is what path equal to this. Okay. You want it as a string. Are you happy? As OS string? No, I don't want this to star. It doesn't. Oh yeah, I can't. Okay, we will have to unwrap it properly. Let home dir equal to let's say simple home dir. Okay, and let's do unwrap, or let's say Sorry, unwrap or default can I do? Yeah, good. And now let's just have a default here. String, maybe. Oh, found path buff, right? That's what you're getting. Okay. I don't mind them having home dir path. Okay, now I will have to unwrap it, right? So home dir path 2 is path. No, I don't want to. Okay, as path. Can I, is there a way to convert this into a string? As OS string, I don't want to. No. Let's just try what it returns as OS string. Yeah, it doesn't implement display. That's the problem, right? Oh, I can use that. Yeah, I can use the debug functionality. Thank you, Rust, for giving good errors. I'm now not sure, to be honest, whether it will work or not. Let's just see. It's good that it's taking defaults, by the way. I'm very happy about it. I'm very proud. This is such a proud moment for all of us, because I think what it's trying to do is, if I just print the content for you guys, let me do this. Wait a minute. Home layer path. I think, yeah. Okay. If I do this right, just for the sake of testing, it's using default config, and the config file. Yeah, this is what I wanted to do. Array? Oh, sorry. All right. Oh, there's an error somewhere. One second, guys. Sorry. Just one second. I have to respond back to my parents and to one more person. Okay. All right. This is done. Config file with home. Borrowed of move value. Okay. You know what? You know what? Where is it borrowed? Oh, is borrowed here. My bad. That's why I was wondering what's going wrong. Okay, let's try to print it here. See, exactly right. So slash home slash KR Shimali. Yeah, or use ampersand reference. Hi, I am Mushtaq. Thank you so much. Sorry, I was so lost. It's done. I should actually disable relative number, right? No relative number. Yeah, better. I think this is better. When I'm streaming, I think it's better for people to see. Now this is very weird, right? So home dir path as OS string. Okay, instead of doing this, can I just say home dir path dot join, and I just say config file name, right? And let's just store it. Let's say let joint path. Okay, and what's the return type? Path buff, is it? Cool. Let's get it as OS string then. I really want to know what does it do. Okay, good then. Let's just get rid of this and use joint path there then. Yeah. Did you just come to the stream, or were you there for so long? Amishtak, sorry. How do you pronounce your name? I keep saying Amishtak. Is it Amustak? Amus. Is there any nickname that you have? I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Okay, what's your problem now? Temporary value dropped. Yeah, as always. Is freeze at the end of the statement, is it? What the? Oh, Mushtaq. Is it MUS Mushtaq or is it Mustaq? Mustaq, right? Mustaq. Mustaq is the way to pronounce. So I'm so sorry, by the way. Temporary value will dropped. Is it dropping this? No, it's. Ah, let me just disable this. It's getting very noisy. Okay, so you have joint path here. Everything is working. Yeah, cool. Let's see. All right. Yeah, this is much better now, right? So now let's create a file. What we should do is oh, 10 to 15 years ago. That's crazy, yeah. Having a username 10 to 15 years back. My username has always been kushashruishmali@gmail.com kind of stuff. Very boring person in general. Not really made for this world. But that doesn't mean I can't live. I'm paying taxes. Anyways, okay, jokes apart. So where are we? This is done. Guys, now what I would like to do is I'd like to create a file. So let's just touch a file context pilot.json. Okay. And let's open a window. Can I do it using my amazing... Oh, no, sorry, wait. Can I do it using... Yeah, ta-da, nice. I was just trying to use the shortcuts that I have. Okay, I need file count threshold, please. I'm kind of nervous if it will work or not. I'm not really nervous, to be honest, but yeah. Now what else do I need? What's the other file? It's... Sorry, where is it? Config impl dot... What is it? What is it? What is it? Commit hashes threshold, right? So let's have it here as well. Commit hashes threshold. And let's just say 5. Okay, let's get rid of this. Let's see. Cargo. Oh, I don't need to. Yeah, it panicked. Oh, trailing comma. Oh, my bad, my bad, my bad. I know what happened. Yeah, you don't need to have a trailing comma here. It will work now, guys. Ta-da! Come on, everyone. Let's clap all together for all of us. All the hard work that has gone into this is now done. So it was very quick, whatever we did. I'm very proud of ourselves. Like, by the way, can I get rid of this? Is there any way to... Okay, let me actually figure it out because I don't want... Can I do config impl and I can do use create config impl? Will that work? That will work, but then again, it's the same thing, right? This warning will always be there. I need to figure out how to get rid of this warning. Okay. What's your problem? Okay, yeah, sorry. All right, guys. So this is done. Let me quickly walk through what's the feature that we have implemented. So what we were trying to do was every time whenever the command runs, it gives you a lot of files, right? All the valid files, all the relevant files. But what I want to do is I want to just limit it down to say that, okay, you please return n number of files, right? And that deciding what n should be on the user. So that's why where I've created context file.json file, right? If the config is there, it will use that config. If it's not there, it will have its own default, right? And that's what we have done. It's working. So yeah, if you see that file count threshold, it was 10 before. Now if I do it 2, sorry. And if I run the command again, see only 2 files are returned. Okay, this is amazing. Do you guys understand how good it is? Is anyone even realizing that this is really nice? No? Okay. It's okay. I'm just kidding. Okay. So let's just push all these commits now. Okay. Let me actually create a branch. Push PR feature threshold file. And what else do you want? Commit hashes. That's a long branch name, but I don't mind. It's not too long. Ta-da! Everything is done. Feature 1. Let's just say, what does it do? It does add feature to add support to have um to have let's just say add support for file count threshold and commit hashes threshold. Okay, and let's add this in commit description. What I want to say is that, okay, whenever a user calls the command before this commit, the utility context pilot will return all the relevant files and run through the get commit hashes with threshold of 5. Yeah, that was the default before. After this commit, the users will have option to set the values, the thresholds themselves in home dir slash context pilot.json. If not present, we will use the defaults coming from defined in config.rs file. Okay. A small to do after this is to make sure that users are pointed for the invalid JSON file format, and also they should be able to skip one of the variables that need to be defined. Ideally, I'm planning to switch to Lua for the config file instead of JSON. For now, this is fine. All right, guys, how do I now? Ta-da! Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Done, guys. Congratulations, everyone. We are done. We have just implemented a feature and I can't wait to give it a try. Okay. Just FI, and I'm going to give it a try. For sure, I'm going to give it a try. All right. So let's create a PR here. I hope it catches. Yeah. See, that's what I want. I want to have really good commit descriptions so that I don't have to write PR descriptions. Let's push it. All right. Let's just merge it once this is done. I really want to write good tests very soon before I make it public. A lot of things to do in the holidays, guys. We can't take off. Okay, this is done. Let's go to git checkout main and let's do git pull origin main. Okay, this is done. Cool. Now what I'll do is I will quickly do cargo build release. Yeah, and let's do target this thing again. It's working. What I would like to do is I would like this to be copied now. Target release. Can you please copy it now? And let's give it a try, guys. Are you guys ready? Is anyone ready? No? It's okay. Here you go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I hope I deleted println statements, right? Println, where is it? No, I didn't. See, this is such a bad habit, right? I'm sorry, guys. I'll have to push something to main. Sorry, I forgot to remove the print statements. Cool. I'm sorry, I'm pushing something to main. I really don't want to create a PR for this. It's too big. Cool. Small thing to do. Okay, come on. Push. You done? Hello, are you done? Yeah, you're done. Okay. Let's just say SRC. Okay, I'll have to build again, I guess. Cargo build. I'll have to do CP again. Cool. One small thing I'll do is now I'll try to just quickly rename the file I had with, let's say, temp.json, right? And let's say nvim src algo loc.rs context file current line. See? Now, but instead of this, I would have appreciated if it would return. Now this is tricky. Why is it not using the default I wanted it to use? Yeah. Let me quickly check as well. Is it returning? Yeah, it's only returning. Oh, I copied. I didn't move. Oh, my bad. I'm such a bad person. Cool. Now it will work. Are you guys ready? See, when the file is removed, if I do this now, it's empty. When I do this now, it's there. Cool. This is good. Can you give me, let's say, context palette, context for the whole line? Oh, it only returns tool. Okay, now you see what's happening. Ah, I see. I see what's happening. I think it's in the DB. That's why it's happening. Because it has essentially stored all these files, you see? That's why after DB sharding, this is what's happening. src algo loc.rs, let's say 26.json. Can you go to 26.json, please? Let's just say, I think this is what's happening. This should be fine. Why? Did I miss something? Okay. This is tricky. Trim result. Trim result, file count threshold. SU size. Otherwise, this output count threshold, right? Okay, let's try to delete the DB for now. And let's see if it works. Don't tell me it's because of the DB. Ah, thank God. It should be a small bug then. Okay, I'm relieved. I'm feeling a little better. But is the file not there? Then how are you using it? Where's the config impl.rs? Sorry. Where is it? Come on, show me. How are you? Let's just print. Come on, Wiz. Okay. It's using default config. It should work. What's the config default here? Oh, don't tell me I set it to 5. Oh, it's... I set it to 2. Come on, guys. You should be a bit more attentive when I'm coding. Right? Sorry, I'm kidding. My bad. That's why it was not working. Cool. One more bug to fix. Set default to 10 instead of 2 for output count. Yeah? And I'm pushing it again to main. Wow. Such a great day. Alright, this is done, guys. Great work. Cool. Let's just say here what I'll say. Target release. Okay. Cargo build release. First I need to build it again. Sorry. Ta-da! Everything is fine now. CP. Okay. Sorry. CP target release. This is done, guys. Congratulations. Let's go to NVIM src algo loc.rs. Let's do context palette context current line. Let's do here. Ta-da! See? All the files that have been there. Now let's quickly try to create a file that I had. Oh wait, I can just do this. cp temp.json. I can do context pilot.json, right? And once this is done, let's try it again, guys. Okay, not here, maybe here. See, now only 2 files are there. Just because you have it there. Okay, let's now try to change it dynamically, right? So let's go to this config and let's say, hey, can you give me not just 2 files? Can you give me, let's say, 4 files, right? And let's do this here. If I run the command again, see 4 files are there now. You guys like it? By the way, this commit hashes threshold is something I don't think it will, let's see. I don't think it will be used anywhere, to be honest, because I mean, if the command is already calculated, it will just use it, to be honest. Cool. Great stuff, guys. I don't think I have anything to commit here. All good. I think we have just merged one feature that we wanted to get into this context pilot, right? If anyone is still curious what this does, I can quickly show. So when I do nvim src.db.rs, right? So I'm in this file and what I want is context of all the line numbers, right? So let's say, hey, I don't know what's folder path. So can you give me context pilot for this current line? There you go. It's going to give me the 4 files that are relevant to this current line number. But let's go to my config again and let's do context palette.json, and instead of file count threshold is 4, let's do 2. Okay, so let's do this context palette current line, and there are only 2 files now, right? This is amazing. You guys like it? No? I love it. All good. Perfect. Thank you so much for being such an active chat, guys. I really appreciate it. No pun intended. I know I'm not a good streamer, but that's it. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. I really appreciate it. I will have to make a release as soon as possible for this. Can I see what's the release commits? Choose a tag, target main is fine. Choose a tag. I think I'll just do version 1.0 directly after this. I'll have to generate release notes. Can you do version 0.04? Let's see. Yeah. Cool. I'll have to do this. Awesome. I think I really want to release it now, but I can't. I need one more feature in. I should wait. Cool. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys like the content and hope you all enjoyed as well. In case anyone has any queries, please do let me know. Other than this, just that's it from me. This was Kushal Shumali streaming on the weekend for you all. Thank you.